What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily, and in this video, we are checking out the brand new iPhone 15. Now, Apple actually changed a lot on the iPhone this year. It's the first significant upgrade since maybe the iPhone 12. And if you skipped the last few iPhones and were waiting for something decisively different, well, I think that's exactly what we have here with this new iPhone 15. So first things first, let's quickly unbox it because there's already something major inside the package we need to talk about. Ripping off those couple of stickers and sliding off the lid, the first thing you get is the phone itself, of course. Obviously, mine is in the pink color. Next up is the usual designed by Apple in California miniature packet of stuff. There's a small instruction booklet and legal info, along with one single Apple sticker. And the only other thing in the box is actually something totally new and different. A braided nylon USB-C to USB-C cable. Yes, the iPhone 15 this year ditches the Lightning port and is now USB-C for charging and connecting accessories. This new cable that Apple includes is actually super nice too. It's similar to the MacBook USB-C cables. It's thick, it's high quality, and you're gonna need it since all your old Lightning cables will no longer work with this new iPhone. With all that stuff out of the way, here is the iPhone 15 once again. Like I said, I opted for the pink. It also comes in black, blue, green, and yellow this year. The color options are maybe a little dull compared to years past. They're sort of a light pastel shade, but still quite fun. And as far as pricing, the regular iPhone 15 once again starts at $799 for the 128GB model if you activate it with a carrier right away, or $829 if you opt for the factory unlocked carrier-free option. Both the regular iPhone 15 and a larger iPhone 15 Plus actually are priced exactly the same with the same storage configuration options as last year's phones, so any rumors of a price increase for these phones at least were untrue. Now, at first glance, the new iPhone 15 actually more closely resembles last year's iPhone 14 Pro, both from the front and the back. It's the same 6.1-inch size and same general form factor as like the last half a dozen iPhones at this point, so that's all relatively unchanged. What is new is the dynamic island at the top there. This was a feature on last year's iPhone 14 Pros, and Apple brought it to the regular iPhone 15s this year. If you're unfamiliar, the dynamic island is this new take on the notch area, or camera cutout that surrounds a selfie camera and Face ID sensors. It acts as this fluid information widget where different apps may display different things. So for example, if you're running a timer, it'll display the countdown up there. If you're listening to music or a podcast, you can quickly tap on the dynamic island to play, pause, or scrub through your content. And it's also where some of your notifications will be shown with a new animation and new way of presenting the information. There are a bunch of default Apple apps and third-party apps that utilize the dynamic island, and I actually think with this feature coming to the regular iPhone 15s now, we'll hopefully see even more apps utilizing it. Around back, the new iPhone 15 now rocks a frosted glass finish, exactly like last year's iPhone 14 Pro, and I think beyond just being better at combating fingerprints, this frosted glass finish makes the phone look and feel even more premium. One other minor design change, the color-matched aluminum edges on the new iPhone 15 are now rounded off ever so slightly. And aside from probably forcing you to buy a new case, this change also makes the phone feel a little slimmer and a little more comfortable in the hand. It's still a relatively flat phone, but the sharper, harsh edges have been sort of shaved down quite a bit. Aside from those minor physical changes, the iPhone 15 isn't really any tougher or more durable this year. It's covered in the same ceramic shield glass as last year, with the same IP68 water and dust resistance rating. Taking a look around, on the left side, this regular iPhone 15 retains the standard silent ringer switch. And I mention that only because the new iPhone 15 Pros have that action button instead, but that's not on the regular iPhone 15s here. There's also the same volume buttons below that. On the right side, the familiar power button just above a 5G antenna, and of course, no SIM card tray. US iPhones are eSIM only again this year. At the bottom, a couple of microphone and speaker cutouts flanking the new USB-C charge port. Apple even color matched the little connector bit inside, which is sort of interesting, but obviously out of everything that's new this year on the iPhone 15, I think the move to USB-C is absolutely the most significant and maybe controversial or inconvenient change. On the one hand, it was bound to happen eventually. The iPads and the MacBooks have been USB-C for a while, and Apple may have also been pressured by the CPU. But this is now the universal plug type for really all smartphones. So you could use your friend's Samsung charging cable if you want, or you can loan them your iPhone USB-C cable now. It's USB-C for pretty much everyone. And while there's definitely going to be a sort of transitional period where some people may still need a lightning cable, or some people may not have enough USB-C cables in their house, their car, at work, or wherever, eventually, like the change to lightning, this change to USB-C will ultimately be the norm. And if you find yourself making the change to USB-C with this new iPhone 15, just know that generally speaking, any USB-C cables you find anywhere should be perfectly fine to charge this new iPhone. When it comes to the display, while Apple did upgrade the viewing experience slightly on the iPhone 15, it wasn't really in the way some of us had hoped. The basic specs for this screen are more or less the same as last year. It's a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel with HDR10 and Dolby Vision support. It comes in at a quirky 2556 by 1179 resolution for some 461 pixels per inch, which is ever so slightly more pixels on screen than last year, due in part probably to the new dynamic island area, which shrinks the notch and adds a tiny bit of screen real estate. And also some people say the iPhone 15s have smaller black bezels surrounding the display too, but I don't see much of a difference at all there. What is different though is the max brightness. The iPhone 15's display now peaks at 2000 nits via auto brightness and outdoor viewing, which is as bright as the iPhone 14 Pro's display was last year, with the user-controlled brightness peaking at about 1000 nits. That, I think, is a pretty worthwhile change, and especially in certain sunny places, like where I live in Las Vegas, the iPhone never seemed to be quite bright enough to see outside at times, so the brighter the screen, the better. However, that's the only real change with the screen. We don't get the LTPO panel from the iPhone Pros, we don't get the ProMotion 120Hz, still just a 60Hz screen on this iPhone 15. We don't get the always-on display option, so in that regard, this is still quite a few steps below the Pro iPhones again this year, but at least there's something that's been upgraded. Inside, the new iPhone 15 is powered by Apple's A16 Bionic chip, paired to 6GB of RAM, which is the same combination of specs as last year's iPhone 14 Pros. Remember, last year's regular iPhone 14s didn't even get a processor upgrade at all. So with the new iPhone 15, we're at least seeing a spec and performance boost over last year, even if it's technically based on a one-year-old chipset. It's also not as good as what's in the new iPhone 15 Pros, so Apple kept that distinction once again. The Pros are more powerful, but all in all, at least we can say this year that the new regular iPhone 15s have better specs. And of course, all the latest iOS 17 features and add-ons that certainly make the phone feel fresh, fast, and new, though iOS 17 is available on pretty much any iPhone from the last 5 or 6 years. As far as the battery life and charging speeds, surprisingly, Apple didn't really mention any better battery life or boost in juice with the iPhone 15s this year. This phone has just a tiny bit larger battery size, 3349 milliamps versus 3279 in the iPhone 14, but both the wired and wireless charging speeds are the same as last year, even with that pivot to USB-C. And there's very little mention of better battery life or a longer lasting iPhone anywhere from Apple. What you will see though, under the battery settings now, is the ability to set an 80% charging limit to help reduce battery aging and better optimize charging. That's probably due to a lot of us, me included, complaining about the bad battery health from the iPhone 14s. And I'm interested to see if maybe Apple did some things there to at least help improve battery health as a whole. Finally, as has been the case the last couple of years, Apple upgraded the iPhone 15's camera setup quite a bit, and even brought over a couple elements from last year's iPhone 14 Pro camera setup. The dual lenses around back consist of a new 48 megapixel main lens with some new capabilities, and seemingly the same 12 megapixel ultra-wide shooter. The selfie camera also appears to be about the same as last year, but inside the camera app, the iPhone 15 does have a few new tricks and features. For starters, we get 2x telephoto for better quality zoom shots and better portrait pics. There's also additional format settings for shooting 12 or 24 megapixel pictures, and an additional option for 48 megapixel pictures in standard 1x zoom daytime shooting conditions. And when it comes to your everyday photos, the actual results are going to look quite a bit better, particularly particularly your portrait pictures, along with low light and nighttime shots. Now, I'm of course going to have a bunch of camera comparison tests on the channel these next few weeks, but I'm really interested to see if maybe the camera setup on this new iPhone 15 is finally good enough to where there's even less of a reason to go pro. I suspect that might actually be the case. So what all is new with the new iPhone 15? Well, the dynamic island is new to this phone at least. The screen is brighter, the main camera is better. We actually get a processor and performance boost this year. The build of the phone with the frosted glass I think is better too. And oh yeah, USB-C is here for better or for worse. Collectively, there's a lot that's new with the iPhone 15, more so than the last couple of iPhones for sure. If you were waiting to upgrade, if you skipped the iPhone 13 or iPhone 14, I really do think this new iPhone 15 may be worth it to upgrade to. But what do you guys think? Will you be getting the new iPhone 15? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys later.